Hey Facebook, what's happening? I'm not in a good mood. I'm in a bad mood, as a matter of fact. And I was thinking of listening to power ballads and maybe drinking some white wine to drown my sorrows in the Blue Jays' loss. But I thought maybe instead I'd just come on here and talk to you. Maybe answer some questions. I'm really not enjoying the American League Championship Series. To compound the problem, I doubled down and I actually made a friendly wager, and by friendly I mean a cash wager, with our good friend Jarpad. And I'm probably now going to have to pay him money. I'm going to pay him in toonies. Let's be clear about that. I'm going to pay him in toonies, but I'm going to have to pay him. So nonetheless, that was not a very good baseball game. The pitching has been good, but ultimately, when you score 3 runs over the course of 3 games, you are going to get decisively beaten, which we did. I say we like I'm on the team. I'm not. I mean, I could maybe play a decent right field for 1 inning if the ball was not hit my way, but that's pretty much it. So I'm going to sit with you guys. I'm not actually sad, by the way. It is just sports. Like, if this were 1993, 12-year-old me would be really sad. 35-year-old me is just mildly annoyed because you root for a team for a really long time, and now we're down 3-0, and I suppose we could be setting the stage for the biggest comeback in baseball history, at least since 2004 when the Red Sox came back on the Yankees. But just seems like everything's kind of turning up Cleveland this year. Cavs won the championship. The weather's been unseasonably nice in October. The Browns are still awful, so at least we know the world hasn't tilted off its axis. But maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year of Cleveland sports. I mean, I see no way that they blow it. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to say hi to Carlos Soccero's wife, Lindsay. She loves the Arrow. That's great. James Hicks says, "You look so young. Show me your ways." No, I don't sleep enough. Tiffany Edmonds thinks the Jays will bounce back. But yeah, let's ask some questions. Drew Stolhan says, "Is the new season going to be as good as season 2?" People remember season 2 like it's become like that fishing trip where the fish gets progressively bigger every time you tell the story. I rewatched an episode of season 2 recently because Arrow is airing every day on TNT. It was okay. It was good. I think season 5, to be truthful here, not that I'm not always, I think that season 5 has a chance to be really special. Can't really tell until you get to the latter half of the year, but our first 8 episodes, I'm not counting the crossover because it's literally, I can't spoil it, but like the crossover is like an event. Like it's the closest thing that we'll ever have to, say, a musical episode of Arrow, as opposed to actually having a musical episode, because I'll quit the show before that happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9, I think have a chance to be really, really special. When I read 509, and this hadn't happened in a while, I literally went reading something that happened in Act 5, I believe. It really took me by surprise. So I hope that it is just as good. I hope people enjoy it. I think that we're off to a tremendous start this year. I've been really enjoying people who swore they would never watch this show again begrudgingly admit that they liked the first 2 episodes. That's been fun. Javier Hernandez says, "Go Cubs." Cassie Ewing says, "Do you know if there are any chance of the CW bringing back Constantine?" I have no idea. Michael McLean says, "Is Roy coming back this season?" I don't know. Gina Flores says, "What episode are you filming right now?" Right now we're still filming episode 509. Although I have filmed some stuff from 510. Even though technically I am done the crossover in earnest, it won't really be until kind of like the end of this week, possibly next week, when I'm actually really officially done. Austin Blankenship says, "Is it sad or is it just shocking?" referring to 509. It just made me go like that. So you can read into that what you will. Jody Cara says Arrow Supernatural crossover. Absolutely not. I hate those guys. Bad. I don't. Really. I love them both very much. I didn't realize that Jensen wasn't a Rangers fan until I got a salty tweet from him. But really, and thinking about better times, that is what the Rangers deserved. They deserved to have Odor make an error to end that series. That was really special. So we'll always have that, because there's just no chance in hell that the Blue Jays can be, one of the only teams in the history of North American sports to come back from a 3-0 deficit. Never happened. Amandia Johnson says, any new movies for you? TMNT was great. I don't know. Thank you. I don't know what I'm going to do this hiatus. If I end up doing a movie, I'm certainly going to be doing Code 8. That's for sure. Leave my Rangers alone from Corey Robert. I'll leave them alone because they're done playing. If doing Code 8, and if I end up doing another movie, it's going to have to be something really, really special. I know that actors say that all the time. But my time away and my time with my family is incredibly important to me. And I'm not just going to do a movie for the sake of doing a movie. So we'll see. Alex Bonilla says, do you go to Texas often? Not often enough, man. I love it there. Film Fad says, how about American Ninja Warrior? I'm working on it. These things take time. That's why I said next year. People just saying hi. Hello. Tiff Ayers, Green Lantern this season? Jose Jaquez says, any plans for a Netflix show or movie? Drew and I are pitching Dudes Being Dudes in Wine Country. We partner with a production company called Den of Thieves, and we're going to be pitching that show. And one of the spots that it would be great for it to land would be Netflix. I've heard really wonderful things about people who work with them, and just in general that they're wonderful to work with creatively. And it would have to be, it's an odd thing for Dudes Being Dudes, because my schedule is not going to allow us to do a typical episode order, and we're not going to be able to do 22 episodes of Dudes Being Dudes in Wine Country. Maybe we'll have a 6-episode season, an 8-episode season, something like that. So it'd be really fun. It'd be really fun to do a Netflix show. Carlos Yen says, can my Indians beat the Dodgers? You're getting ahead of yourself, Carlos. Although I am feeling better. Harry Foot says, Green Arrow was always my favorite hero since the 90s. Thanks for doing it well. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Joe Fasano says, loving season 5 so far. Can't wait for this week's episode. This week's episode is great. Let me tell you something right now. This week's episode, we've been doing a little bit more slow motion this year, which I'm very excited about. Some speed ramping and stuff like that, which I think is really cool and adds a neat element to the show. But we have a scene in this week's episode where, you remember, the coolest thing that you can ever do if something explodes is not react at all. And certainly don't look back. It's a superhero trait. And just in terms of, towards the end of this week's episode, there is a shot that, just in terms of iconic images and photography, is one of the best that we've ever done in the history of the show. Really, really cool. And it was a shot where, after we shot it, everyone crowded around the monitors and we literally were high-fiving. So I'm fired up for everyone to see that. Joey Moda says, Cody. Yeah. Dave McCarter says, on your hiatus, I have a challenge for you. Challenge you to run a Tough Mudder obstacle course race on my team. I'll go wherever in the States that works for you. I've heard of Tough Mudder. Jose Manto says, what do you think of Goldberg returning? My buddy Zacho said that it was awesome. And I haven't seen it yet. The reaction online seemed to be pretty good. James Hackett said, you said we would win 6. You have failed the city. Well, thanks for watching both live chat today, James. God damn it. Damn it! We should try to win the next 2 games at home. But boy, oh boy, those bats. We gotta wake up the bats, boy. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna chill out. I might still listen to a power ballad or two. Shit happens, change your pants. thank you very much, Facebook. I had a lovely day with you today. And I will talk with you again soon. You be well.